What's up, everyone? This is Morgan from Kitty, and you are listening to the Talk to Me podcast. Wow.
What is up? Welcome to the show. This is episode 205 of the Talk to Me podcast. As always, I am your host, Joshua Toomey, and I'm coming to you from outside my house, sitting on the deck, watching a couple of ducks in the pond, some dogs down the street making some noise. Might be a little windy, but felt like doing the show outside today. I've edited outside, and let's do the show from outside. How about that? This week's guest is John Alves of Dirtbag Clothing. A lot of you know him as Dirtbag John. He goes back a long ways with Dimebag. Some of the early Dimebag memorabilia was done through Dirtbag Clothing. They also sponsor a ton of bands, and I know you've seen their stuff around. They were in Spencer's for years, and they were one of the first online retailers with one of the first online merchants, let's put it that way. Great conversation, a lot of fun, a lot of insights. I dig doing these, I love doing these interviews with non-musicians, people that have kind of a day-to-day, 9 to 5, and I'm sure if you're a business owner, it's 9 to all night, 24 hours a day. Guys not in bands, guys doing something out there that's a little bit outside the box. Make sure you guys are checking out Dirtbag Clothing where you can find it as this motorcycle drives by. Nice ambient talk to me, getting it in today. Before I get too deep into the show, I do want to talk about a GoFundMe that's out there now. Our good friend Bobby Burns of Primer 55 is going through some legal troubles. He's going through, I don't want to get too deep into it. The GoFundMe does have the story. He's going through some family issues, and he is currently in jail, and he needs some legal assistance to get out. I don't want to direct you over there if you don't want to help out, but if you're a fan of Primer, if you're a fan of what we do over here, please go help out Bobby Burns. I will leave the GoFundMe in the show notes. I know Bobby's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but I do have to say that over the years, I've always gotten along with him. I've never had an issue with him, even through some of the tough times in the band. Him and I always got along, and I do have to thank him for whatever little name that being associated with the band Primer 55 has given me. So if you would, please go and donate over at the GoFundMe to help out his legal expenses so he can get this legal mess taken care of. 2019 has not been pleasant to the band Primer 55 with losing our singer, Jason Luttrell. And now Bobby's facing the legal issues. Oh, man, it's a lot going on in the world of Primer that's not positive. The story is really messed up. Please go at least read the story at the GoFundMe. And if you feel compelled to throw $5 or $10 towards it, that would be fantastic. He's a good friend of mine through whatever trials and tribulations, and I know he's made a lot of enemies in this world, unfortunately for him, because one of the most talented musicians I've ever been around. And if you get to know him really well, one of the funniest dudes I know. So if you don't mind, go over to GoFundMe, search out Bobby Burns Legal Assistance or whatever it's called. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the show notes. I've been plastering it on Facebook. I'll tweet it out too. Throw a couple of bucks over there and to help a fellow new metaler out. The one thing I do hate is the PRP posted about it. I've shared in a few new metal groups on Facebook, and a lot of people are taking this opportunity to kind of kick a man while he's down. I don't really appreciate that too much, because at the end of the day, no matter what you feel about Bobby, this is about a man and his son. And it's a family issue, and it's much bigger than if he dicked you over in Wichita, Kansas. A lot of people's true colors are kind of showing through on this one. Just know that this, Bobby is near and dear to my heart. He's made some bad choices in life, I understand that. But this is not one of them, and he needs our help. So head over to GoFundMe, throw Bobby a couple of bones. I took some money out of the Patreon account from my fellow Patreons that sent some money over and kicked it towards Bobby. So the Talk to Me podcast helped fund the Bobby Burns legal expense. So once again, just go kick him a couple of bucks. And in the spirit of Primer 55, which I listened to a little bit last night after, I was texting with someone that was on the phone with Bobby, kind of giving him shit, telling him not to drop the soap and stuff. And I kind of went down a little memory lane. So I'm going to play one of my favorite tunes now. It's called Growing. It's off the new release. Check it out.
Hey, what's up? This is Bobby Burns from Primer 55, Murder in the Flesh, Killer in the Workplace, Soulfly, etc. And you're listening to Talk to Me Podcast.
Crush it in the line again. It's so fundamental, feeling like there's gotta be a way to crush road. But some people keep to themselves with a little luck, it goes away with it time. Pushing everybody out the way, don't get the fuck away. Pushing everybody out the way, it's like me, that's a place I keep it so sentimental. Like create the what you want from inside. Take a deep breath because it's time I gotta let it out. Let you know way too much inside. If you release, they shame and mold you. You better run, you better open your eyes. Listen what the fuck I gotta say. So what the fuck you say? Listen what the fuck I gotta say. One time. Self-control, I don't wanna indulge you. So I guess I'll keep taking my time. This is the life you lead, you're so sentimental. Hold your tongue, you gotta keep it inside. You gotta be so damn sentimental. You said that never gotta keep it inside. Always ending up at the place that I started. Running around in circles, forcing on control. I know that better days are coming. Roving the trenches and hitting inside. Counting all the lies along the way. Count 1, 2, 3. Count another line, lock it up. It's mine. This one should almost grow. This thing is not me. This is the life you lead, you're so sentimental. Hold your tongue, you gotta keep it inside. You gotta be so damn sentimental. You said that never gotta keep it inside. You take away my son. My only means of shelter. I'll try again. I'll try harder. Chew it up and swallow. Push it down inside. Chew it up and swallow. Push it down inside. This is the life you lead, you're so sentimental. Hold your tongue, you gotta keep it inside. You gotta be so damn sentimental. You said that never gotta keep it inside. This is the life you lead, you're so sentimental. Hold your tongue, you gotta keep it inside. You gotta be so damn sentimental. You said that never gotta keep it inside. This is the life you lead, let's swallow. This is the life you lead, let's swallow. This is the life you lead, let's swallow. This is the life you lead, let's swallow.
All right, guys, that was my former band, Primer 55, with Growing, one of my favorite songs to play live. I always remember playing it. We played it in Denver, and the place was packed, and there's a ton of bass stuff in that song. That's the one thing that was always great about playing in Primer 55 was Bobby was a bass player at heart, and so he wrote a lot of really cool bass parts, and so to get to play those bass parts live was always fun. Even though he was the guitar player, main songwriter of the band, he didn't write a ton of guitar-centric songs. They were very, very bass-heavy, very groove-heavy, so I always had a ton of fun playing those songs. Would love to play them again one day, once all this stuff with Bobby's over with. We can get a couple of shows together, something that would be fun. Have to get a replacement singer, obviously, but we do the Static X thing and have somebody wear like a Jason mask, a Jason Luttrell mask. Oh, man, don't even get me started on the Static X stuff, which we all can probably assume that's Edsel dope under the mask. But let's not go there right now. Let's talk a little bit about my good friend Scott Bowling down in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, that is good company with bowling. brings you this podcast each and every week. Make sure you guys are checking out scottgoodcompany.com, heading over to YouTube, searching out Good Company with Bowling, letting him know that the Talk To Me podcast sent you, and check out his interviews while you are there. He's got so many great interviews. Kyle Sanders of Hell Yeah, Head from Korn, guys in Stuck Mojo, Fozzy, Seven Dust, Islander, Nonpoint, and the list goes on. And some of your favorites, music personalities like Matt Pinfield, Eddie Trunk, Jose Mangan. One of these days I need to make it down there. He's since he started the show, he's wanted to have me on. I just need to make it down to Atlanta, Georgia to go on the show. That'll be a ton of fun. But make sure you are checking out Good Company with Bowling on YouTube and scottgoodcompany.com. Let him know that the Talk To Me podcast sent you. One last little nugget of what's going on in the Talk To Me world. I have lined up a live weekly show on a network. So starting probably in a couple of weeks, once I get the date knocked out, I'm sure I'll post it. But once I get it all knocked out, I'll let everybody know. But Talk To Me will start being a live 2-hour show as the people across the street are honking and screaming. I guess they're excited about the live Talk To Me. But a 2-hour show once a week, and I will let you guys know. Play music, have interviews, all that fun stuff. And without any more of my ramblings, let's talk to Dirtbag John. Let's check out some Pantera. Check out Rob Rivera's pick from the kit, and then I will talk to you momentarily.
Where the sun doesn't shine. I'm living in a room without any view. I'm living free because the rents never do. The synonyms of all the things that I say are just the riddles that are built in my head. Hole in the sky, take me to heaven. Window in time, through it I'm blind. The stars that disappear in the sun. The shooting's easy if you've got the right gun. And even though I'm sitting waiting for Mars, I don't believe there's any future in cars. Hole in the sky, take me to heaven. Window in time, through it I fly. The dogs of war enjoying their feast. I've seen the western world go down in the east. The food of love became the queen of all time. But now I'm living on the profits of pride. All in the sky. Take me to heaven. With no time. Through it I fly.
All right, guys, we've got Dirtbag John from Dirtbag Clothing on the line. John, how you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you.
Very good to finally get to talk to you, man. It's been a while.
It has been way too long, and definitely, I love talking, so here we go.
Well, the one thing that I keep getting from everybody with Dirtbag Clothing is a connection to Dimebag, and anyone that's ever heard this podcast knows my love of Pantera. So what's the connection with Dimebag and Dirtbag?
I'll get you pulled right off the bat. I came to know Dime late in the game. It was a connection through friends. We knew Ram, who is a guitar tech of Guitar Techs. And he knew Bob Zilla. This is when Damage Plan started coming around. And he's like, oh, my buddy's in this new band. And I'm like, sweet. Gave him some hats, and he was digging it. And Dimebag saw it and went, oh, man, I need some of that. So we just struck it off that way. So it was very organic, kind of through, a friend of a friend. And it just started from there. So, which was really exciting for me. And everyone was, all my friends were like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So it was interesting. So, but with Dimebag, nothing was normal. Nothing was, typical. So, it was perfect.
How often would you speak with Dime about stuff?
Initially, it was random because they were doing a record. They started touring. We actually made him a couple of custom hats for him. And then he said, hey, I want to do my own Dimebag hardware. And I was like, sweet. And he's like, I want you guys to do it. And I'm like, oh boy. Okay.
Right.
So, then we would talk, randomly, but he would love to email in ideas and sketches and stuff. So we talk once a week, 2-3 times a week. But we only met up a few times. So we did all of our stuff through the phone and email, which is crazy.
And did you continue to do the Dimebag hardware after he passed? I know Rita still continues to do that stuff.
Rita does it. We did a couple shirts for a memorial type thing. And then it just kind of went into limbo. And we didn't want to, step on anyone's toes or do this. And then by the time it kind of was coming back around, Rita had some other people involved, and it was like, hey, all the best. So we left on good terms. So we never got to fulfill the full vision that Dime had, but, that's just the way it goes, I guess. I would love to, but, I don't know, to be honest, we actually may be talking to Rita here in the near future, so you never know.
Well, there you go.
Let's keep that, maybe that little nugget just dropped right here. So we shall see.
So I've seen the Dirtbag logo for years, and I've seen tons of bands wearing the stuff. What year did Dirtbag start?
We started in '96 officially. So we kind of had it around '95, but officially about '96. So 1996 for all the younger kids out there. So we've been around a while. So it's one of the brands that you know or you don't know. And now, because of you, everyone's going to know.
There you go. What got you into like the clothing industry? Were you doing something before Dirtbag and it kind of molded into Dirtbag, or was this kind of your first foray and it just kind of stuck?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is my first foray. That's a big word. That's a college word. I was a video guy. I thought I'd be making movies and commercials, and doing video documentaries and things. So that's what I went to school for. And a guy in my class wore a Dirtbag shirt, and that literally started a journey that continues to this day. Because I saw that shirt and went, dude, I duded him and bought a shirt for $10, and I still have that same shirt. I can almost fit into it. It's actually in my office on the wall. And people just lost their mind. I mean, it was literally like, where did you get that? Tap me on the shoulder. People, oh, that's cool. And I'm just like, what's going on? I'm not a fashion guy. My mom still can't believe I'm trying to sell apparel because I hated shopping. I still hate shopping.
Well, we all did, yeah.
So this is not a fashion brand. This is, when your motto is wear it till it stinks, you got to love what you're doing and you got to dig it. So it's more of a passion type brand. We're not trying to be trendy. We're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. If you're a dirtbag, dude, you know it. Yeah, that's for girls too. There's plenty of dirtbag females out there that are just like, yep, because they're in the front row of every concert too. So
one thing that when Doug was on the show a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about how you were one of the first websites to ever really have like an e-commerce store. How did that come about? And tell me about e-commerce in the 90s.
I think it was location. We started in San Francisco, so we were kind of in the hub, and I grew up in San Jose, so I was in the hub of Silicon Valley and all of that early on. So I think I was just in it. I was in that forest and I didn't know any different. So we just started, and we're like, hey, we need to do a website, right? And people are still on dial-up, and I'm sure people in the Midwest were like, the internet, what's that kind of scenario?
Right.
But we had friends, we've survived because of friends and people jumping in and, just like a band. Hey, we need, people dig what you're doing, man. They'll support you. And we had a buddy that goes, I can make a website, and we didn't know anything about it. I don't know how to code. But they're like, hey, you'll do this and we'll do that. Okay. And to get there. And we were so early on that when you had internet fraud, you had to call the Secret Service.
Wow.
I literally called the Secret Service going, yeah, we got a credit card being used from Indonesia, and what's that mean? And they're like, oh yeah, you can't, and it was crazy. I'm like, I just had to call the Secret Service. I'm thinking they're dealing with the president and security, and no, they dealt with internet fraud. They probably still do, but now no one, just, I got hacked. But back in the day, it was like, wait a second, what is this?
Right.
So yeah, that was literally 96. So we were a small fish in a pond. Now we're a small fish in the biggest ocean, going. So it's kind of like, oh, so we've seen it all.
I'm trying to think. In 96, I was probably buying stuff off of like Blue Grape, over the phone. But I mean, that was still I don't even know how I had a debit card back then. So I'm trying to figure out like it was all mail order and a check.
Yeah, correct.
Check or money
order.
order.
That was the craziest thing. Yeah, and there's no shipping programs and all this stuff. It was, the old write it out by hand or type it in and make a label. And, it was, we had to love what we were doing back in the day to keep going because it was not easy.
Yeah, kids.
If you don't know any better.
Right. Yeah, kids definitely have it easy these days with the Amazon 2-day Prime shipping. Back in the day, you would order something and you'd hope to get it in 2 months.
Yeah, well, but you're ordering it off your phone that you have in your pocket 24/7.
Right.
I mean, we didn't even have flip phones back then. It was literally your phone was a phone. That's all it did.
A phone and Snake.
Yeah. Hello, I had a pager. When we started, I still had a pager.
Yeah.
That's like, you tell some of these, people, these bands or, people nowadays, I had a pager or an e-ticket ride. They look at you like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So, but that's how, yeah.
I found some old photos of me on stage, and you can see my pager, like, the clip hanging out my pocket. And like, that's when you can date the photo right there. You can see my pager.
100%. So, but that's just, but it's just like everything. Everything evolves. So you either, go with it and change, or, you're a dinosaur. So we just go with the flow.
That is one thing. I mean, you've kept a brand going for this long. I mean, a lot of times, I feel like with clothing, more than anything, you'll hit a big pop. You're the cool thing for a couple of years, and then you've got to go away and do something else. How has it been for you to kind of go with the flow and go with the trends?
Well, this is the craziest thing. So we were plugging along, and then we had a pop, and we had the Spencer's distribution, and that was like playing the main stage, right? We were like, ooh, we're making it. But then they wanted to start changing things and all that, so we were either too dumb or too protective of what we were doing, and we were like, no, we can't do that. We don't want to do that. We can't. What you guys want to do will kill our brand because we have authenticity with the artists, and you're going to kill it. But they don't care. They see numbers and this and that. And if we didn't care, we would have sold out and made X amount of money, but then it would have been done. By that time, we already put 10 years in. So we're like, man, this is not just a brand. We're building something. Like I tell the guys here, we're building a community. That's what people are buying into. So if, we got to be true to ourselves. So we're just like, no, we'll do it ourselves. We'll take everything back. And they thought we were crazy. I mean, not many, I don't know how many people would go, okay, you're not going to be sold in 1,200 stores across the country. Yeah, we're taking it back.
It's a ballsy move.
It's like a band that, well, I don't know if we knew any better. I just think they saw punk kids and they would try and take advantage of us. And I saw, people trying to take advantage and kill what we've, created. It's like a producer coming in going, yeah, you guys are doing metal, but polka's really the big thing right now. You're going to be playing polka and you're like, oh, what? F you, dude, that's rock and roll. Don't tell me I have to do something. Then that's for sure not going to happen. So that's kind of our mentality. And that's what we live till today. That's how we live today is we'll do it our way. As Doug said, hey, there's your way, there's my way, and then there's the Dirtbag way. So we're just doing it our way. We don't follow trends. We don't really have competition. Everyone's, oh, that's your competition. No way. We have bands go, hey, my buddy has a shirt. Can I help him out? I'm like, 100%. Dirtbag's not a uniform. If you dig what we're doing, we're on your back. And you can buy a T-shirt, we're literally on your back. So that's kind of our mentality. It's like, So obviously you get stepped on a little bit, but hey, I can sleep at night and I can talk to the bands with knowing that I haven't screwed anyone over. And we're doing it our way.
With Dirtbag coming on, was that the first big musical collaboration, or did you have anything before that?
We never really collabed. So that was, Dime was probably the biggest. Well, we've had artists wear our stuff just
right.
because, our techs and all that. But Dime was the first one to kind of come and go, hey, I want you guys to do our stuff. And I literally told him, I'm like, Dime, you can have anyone do your stuff. And he's like, I know, and they've all screwed me over. So I'd rather have, someone I kind of trust. And I'm like, whoa. So that really meant a lot to me, and I tell the story all the time. And I'm going to tell it to you right now. We were in Vegas literally a month to the day before he passed. And, I don't know how to say it. I don't even like saying, that. So
right. I always say he was taken from us.
Taken from us. So it still, means a lot. But we were in Vegas and I leaned over to him and, he's like, we're going to go gamble. And I'm like, okay. So it was literally just me, my lady, Rita, Dime, and Zilla, Bob Zilla, the bass player for Damage Plan. And he's like, we're going to go gamble. And I'm like, okay. We literally left the venue because they were just played and they love to play, direct support. They can hang out and, party and do all that stuff. So I was like, all right. So the band's still on stage. I think they were out with, I don't know who they were out with. Slipknot? I don't know who they were out with. No, Shadows Fall?
Yeah, there's the Headbangers Ball tour.
It was
Haybreed maybe, and I think they might have toured a little bit with Mudvayne. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know who Damage Plan toured with.
Yeah, it's such a whirlwind.
Yeah.
So he's just like, hey, we're going to go. And I'm like, holy cow, I'm going to go. I never really hung out with Dime a lot. We did everything over the phone and email. And I'm just like, okay, we're going to roll with this. So we go out and we're gambling. People are coming up to him. Oh, Dime, how's it going? And he was the nicest guy. Just took it in stride, treated everyone, with respect. And, hey, high-fiving everyone. It was just like, this is how people should be.
Yep.
Right. If I was learning from the best, right, just kind of nothing was a problem. All the fans were just like family. And I was just like, sweet, this is the way it should be. No, there's no security. It was just us. Sit down at a table, and he leans over. He's like, "We gonna do this?" I'm like, "Dime, man, yeah, let's get this thing going. I'm excited." And we fist bump, and he's like, "We all rise up together." And I was like, "Oh." I don't want to swear, but I was like, "Whoa!" And I got a little woozy. I was like, "Dude," so that's our motto to this day. After that day was, "We all rise up together." So I'll say that the bands, and we're all in it together, and we'll champion you. If you have the passion, we're there for you. So that was instrumental in kind of the direction for Dirtbag. But yeah, Dime was the one, and after that, it was kind of like, we do merch for bands now and all that, but we've never done another collab or a brand for somebody else. I don't know, maybe it just won't be the same.
You ever been flipping through a magazine or online looking at photos and you come across somebody wearing some Dirtbag and it like blows you away?
Oh, I love when that happens. And the craziest thing is, I'm always the last to know. I always get pictures of, "Oh, did you see so-and-so?" And I'm like, dude, how come I'm always the last to know? Then I remember, one thing that came to mind, we were at a show and I was like, oh man, it was Lamb of God. I was like, man, I love those guys. And we kind of go back and forth. I knew some of their, the reps and everything, their instrument company people and all that. I was like, man, I'd love for them to wear our stuff. And we're at a show and two guys come out. One guy's wearing a hoodie. One guy had a shirt on. I was like, oh my God. Other people gave him stuff. And I was like, that was so rad that, the guys are out there. So other people are almost like trading stuff on the black market, almost, you would say. So it was stuff like that, but it's always exciting. But I get just as excited when, no offense, but let's say a no name or an unknown band is wearing it.
Right.
That's what we said. Everyone, we say, and I just had this conversation before this call, that, you never know where the next Metallica is going to come from. So everyone gets treated the same, right? Everyone that's on the Dirtbag team and wants to join, everyone gets treated the same. So if you're playing in front of 1 million people, or you're playing in front of 1 or 2, right? Mom and dad are in the back. Hey, you're out there trying, man. You're out there trying to make it, and we're there for you. So that's what gets us excited. The big names are awesome because it's kind of like, oh, everyone knows, but I don't know. I'm not a backstage kind of guy, so I get more excited when the up and coming guys are out there. Like I'm going to a show tonight. I'm buying a ticket. I'm sure I can ask to get on the list, but I'll support. So it just makes it easier.
Oh, absolutely. The checking out the website, you've got Don Jameson, Blackstone Cherry, Bumblefoot, Active Defiance, Them Evils. I mean, working with those kind of guys, what does that do for you guys? Obviously, it gives them some clothes, but I mean, what does that in turn do for you guys?
Well, that's obviously we're cross promoting and we're helping out, but for the guys that have been there, right? Active Defiance have all toured mega artists, right? So they, it's a networking opportunity, right? They're part of the family. So I can reach out to them and go, hey, how's this going? Or what's that? Or how can we better help, you and in turn help out everybody? So it's just a big networking kind of community. And then ideally, as we grow, that network will turn into, my band's playing in, Ohio. What other Dirtbag bands are in Ohio? Let's get a thing going. Right? We're actually doing a show in June in Ohio, I believe.
Okay.
So that's how things are going. But yeah, the big names are great because it helps for exposure, but it's also, I hope it's like a carrot to the other guys up and coming to go, hey, I want to be there too. I can make it. And that's what we're here for. That's where a lot of mentoring on what we're doing. So that artist page and the backstage area for the artist is for that, the mentoring, the community, the camaraderie, because if you're a Dirtbag, if you go up to Don and I'm actually seeing Don Jameson tonight. Hey, Dirtbag, it's a conversation starter, right? It's almost like, that backstage, that secret handshake.
Right.
I'm a Dirtbag guy too. So, but we're not trying to be pretentious or anything like that. It's just, hey, I'm a Dirtbag too. Sweet. You're part of the family. So that's kind of how we look at it. And it's just, I love having all the big guys, but again, I also like the up and coming, the dreamers, let's say, that are out there doing it. That really, to me, that's the fun of it.
So has this PC culture that we're in affected you guys at all with, nobody wants to be labeled a dirtbag. Nobody wants to, I can't believe you would want to call someone a dirtbag. Any of that stuff affecting you guys?
Nope. It's rock and roll rules, man. If you don't get it, it's almost better for us. But if you don't know what a dirtbag is, then that's on you. Because a dirtbag is out there busting their ass, following their dreams, doing it their way. That's a dirtbag. A dirtbag's not some bum in the corner, crying in his milk because, no one's helping me, no one's doing this, blah, blah, blah. No. To be an artist and in anything, right? You can be a dirtbag in construction. You can be a dirtbag in, whatever your line of work is. Yes, we kind of gravitate towards the music and artist side, but whatever you're doing, if you're doing it to 110% of your ability, you're a dirtbag. You're passionate about what you're doing. If you're punching a clock, you're not dirtbag material. You wake up every day going, I don't want to go to work, and this, you're definitely not a dirtbag. So I just think it's better that if you don't get it, it's even better, because that just makes the people that do get it almost as a smaller little community and club, to where it's that wink and a nod, like, yep, I know what you're doing, right? I know you're busting your ass, to get up on stage or to go to work and build that house, right? Because you take pride in what you're doing. That's a dirtbag. It's not your grandma's dirtbag anymore.
It's not.
We're changing the connotation of the word.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it, I really don't care. And that's kind of rock and roll. If I have to conform, boy, you're basically challenging me to not do what you're saying. And we're going to do that. Right? Spencer said, you have to do a $9.99 t-shirt. And we said, no, we don't. And they said, yes, you do. And I said, good luck, because you're not having our brand. So
that takes a lot, man, especially in this type of, this market of, that seems like the dirtbag clothes, and, you don't have a whole lot of Spencer's and Hot Topic type stores out there. So to pull yourself out of a big chain like that, that did take some balls.
Credibility and authenticity. Right? If you don't feel it, it's just fake. That's not me, man. That's not, it's like playing someone else's song.
Right.
The soul's not there. So why would you do that? I could have sold out years ago. We all could. Everyone on the Dirtbag team could have sold out years ago. But, for what? That money would have been gone already. And then what do you have? So for us, it's authentic. What you see is what you get. And if you don't get it, we'll either tell you how you should get it, or what we're about. And then you go, dude, I'm in. Or you go, it's not for me. Perfect. Because we can't be for everybody. So, that's where, PC, that's a fad. It comes and goes, right? Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone like you wanted to be treated, right? The dime bag model. Everyone's the same. We're all human, right? Doesn't matter. That's our mentality, right? That's a dirtbag. Black, white, purple, green, whatever you want to. Don't put me in a category. Don't put us in a category. Because that just, nope. We just say we're human. We're humans, and if you like music, rad.
All right, another 2019 kind of industry type question. Over the years, obviously, T-shirts have changed. Probably when you started the company, it was more almost boxy, heavy tees, and then we went through the phase of like American Apparel style tees, and I'm assuming now it's you have to have some sort of biodegradable T-shirt or 100% recyclable or something. Is there
unicorn horns and
yeah? Is there some sort of pressure in the community of T-shirt makers to kind of go to anything like that, or do you even pay any attention to that stuff?
Well, the pressure is always to get a cheaper product, right?
Yeah,
that's not our pressure. Our pressure is to get something that people want to wear, and we always, we've joked from the beginning. If your motto is wear it till it stinks, your products better be able to handle it. Because if you're on the road or you're working 12, 16 hours a day and your shirt falls apart in 2 hours, not really going to be good. So we've been through the trends, we have our own custom Dirtbag, blank that we have, and we're actually in the process. Another little nugget, heard here first. We are in production on our new custom 100%. I believe it'll be 100% made in the USA dirt to shirt. We will have that option. Dirt to shirt, meaning the cotton's grown here, woven here, dyed here, everything printed here. That will be launching in about 12 weeks. It just takes a long time. So we have gathered the 20 plus years of experience with our artists and all that, and are coming out with our own custom tee from the very start. So that's exciting for us. So now we're going to set the trend. We're not going to follow them. We're not going to follow what other people want to do. We're going to do it the Dirtbag way. And I believe everyone will be like, that's rad. I'm in. So, and that's what, and artists are going to have the same tee available for their own merch. That's how we do it. If we're doing merch for you, we're going to give you the same product that Dirtbag uses. So now your band merch will be that much better. So that's part of being on the Dirtbag program.
So aside from the dirt to shirt, what's kind of coming up for the Dirtbag brand? I mean, I'm assuming you guys are already into your summer line with tank tops and all that good stuff.
Yep, we can't kind of keep it simple, right? We know we're a black t-shirt company. So it's t-shirts, hats, all the soft goods if you want to get into the lingo. We have our Mega Zip, which is our custom exclusive big mega zipper, which is rad. We're going to be developing that even more to give more options. We're working on custom production for that. So that's our bread and butter, but we're doing a lot more in with like touring and events. So we're working on some concepts that hopefully will be around for the 2020 touring cycle for artists.
Okay.
So that is kind of exciting. We're in talks now, but obviously those take way longer than anyone thinks they should. But we're actually going to venture out to some festivals in the Midwest. We're a West Coast company, but we're going to venture out. So we will be doing Rocklahoma, which will be super exciting on their, so we'll be out there. And then, a lot more with touring artists. So that's kind of where we're going to grow and develop and expand our pop-up retail with the artists, allowing them to sell our product. So our thing is, well, if the bands are going to be on the road and they can make money, put the money in their pocket, let's do that. So we're not going to go back to retail. Our retail will be through our artists and the live venue.
I like it.
That's going to be exciting. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Well, before we get out of here, the last big thing for you is where can people find you? What's the best avenue to follow you guys and all that good stuff?
At dirtbag.com. Keeps it real simple. That's our home base. That's home base for everything. Obviously, we're on Facebook and Twitter and all the other socials. But yeah, dirtbag.com is your home base. Or if you want to crank up some tunes from all our Dirtbag artists, you can check us out on Spotify. We have our own playlist, Dirtbag Underground. That is where we highlight a lot of the artists that we have, over the 1,000 plus right now and growing. So if you're an artist, you dig what you heard, let's talk, because you will talk to one of us, right? There's nothing really automated. We're real humans. And, we take everything, you might be the next Metallica or Foo Fighters or pick, pick your artist that you want to aspire to be, boom, the next Dimebag, right? Because his spirit and soul was out there, and it's going to land in somebody and be like, whoa, this kid is, rocking.
Oh, Dime was great. And in the spirit of Dimebag, I will let you pick your favorite Pantera or Damage Plan, whichever song you would like us to play, and then maybe give us a little story of why you picked that song.
5 minutes alone.
Nice.
It just gets me going, right? Just that riff is just simple, but just ball kicking, man. It's just like, you just know it's Dime. This is Pantera. Come on, So that's where I would go. So crank it up, man. Please make it go to 11.
All right, Dirtbag John. Thanks, man, for taking the time.
Cheers, man. I totally appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello, everybody on Talk To Me Land. This is Rob Rivera from the band Nonpoint. And here is my weekly segment, Rob's Pick from the Kit. Before I get to the pick, there's a couple things I want to tell you guys. We're going to be going out with POD, Hyro the Hero, Islander, and 9 Shrines on the Full Circle Tour, part number 2. We did the first installment of that last November and December, and we're like, man, why don't we do this again? And we've been talking. We maybe do some more touring with those guys. The package is great. We get along with everybody. The best part is we know everybody on the tour. Everybody is our friend. This is going to be so killer. So go to nonpoint.com for all ticket information. Hit that tour dates tab. You can see us on Facebook at Nonpoint Band or Nonpoint Official. Nonpoint Official. And check us out on all the social media, Nonpoint Band on Instagram, Nonpoint on Twitter, MySpace, Friendster. Nah, just kidding. Anyway, nonpointstore.com, we have 2 awesome VIPs that you can check out. A bus hang and acoustic VIP. So check that out, pick one up, and let's hang out. Let's chat. Also, I am entering the podcast world. I've been inspired by my friend Joshua, guys like Jamie Josta, Doc Coyle, who have come out with these awesome podcasts, giving out all this amazing knowledge. So me and my buddy, friend, my brother, Rob Rusha, who runs Uptown Recording in Chicago, we have decided to do a podcast. It's called the Robcast Podcast. It's going to focus on the touring industry, recording industry, radio industry, anything to do with a band, anything to do to survive, merchandise, how to tour, bandmates, bus etiquette, any of that stuff. Touring etiquette, everything that has to do about touring. I want to share my experience between the both of us. We have like 40 years of experience. The first couple of episodes going to be us talking about stuff, and then we're going to be adding some guests, and pretty soon we'll be announcing that stuff. You can find us on all social networks, wherever you do, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Robcast Podcast. ROBBCAST So we hope to see you. Give us a like, a follow, or whatever, and let's get to the pick, man. This week we're gonna talk about this guy, King Diamond, man. What an iconic dude. If anybody knows him, he's been in bands like Merciful Fate. He's done his own thing. King Diamond. He's got an incredible stage show, and we're gonna feature the song "Family Ghost." And remember the first time that I ever heard that song, I was so blown away because I love Merciful Fate, and when they broke up, I was very saddened, but I followed his career, and one of the things that I remember most about King Diamond is our good friend Ollie Herbert, which we miss, and rest in peace, my brother, from All That Remains. His favorite guitar player was Andy LaRocque, and that really stuck with me when he said that, because he is the only person I ever heard have said that Andy LaRocque was their favorite guitar player. And when he told me that, I started listening to King Diamond more and just appreciating more of Andy LaRocque. So thank you, Ollie. Love you, miss you. So sad that you're not around anymore, man. But yeah, this is King Diamond with Family Ghost.
Where every day
All right, huge thank you to Dirtbag John for coming on the show. If you feel inclined to, make sure to head over to the GoFundMe for Bobby Burns. Kick him a couple of bucks for his legal expenses. Make sure you are supporting Good Company with Bowling. Make sure you're heading over to patreon.com/talktome if you want to support the podcast monetarily. If you would just like to help out in a non-monetary way, make sure you are leaving a rating, a review, subscribing, and letting your friends know about the podcast. And I will let you guys know soon about the new 2-hour live show once a week coming soon to an internet radio station near you. So until then, from the palatial porch here, I am Joshua Toomey, and this has been the Talk to Me podcast.